Here is my Security News Roundup for the week ending June 28th, 2024. U.S. Treasury sanctions 12 Kaspersky executives amid software ban. The U.S. Department of the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control imposed sanctions against a dozen individuals serving executive and senior leadership roles at Kaspersky Lab, a day after the Russian company was banned by the Commerce Department. The move underscores our commitment to ensure the integrity of our cyber domain and to protect our citizens against malicious cyber threats. Undersecretary of the Treasury for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Brian E. Nelson said, "The sanctions, however, do not extend to Kaspersky Lab, its parent or subsidiary companies, nor the company's founder and chief executive officer, CEO Eugene Kaspersky," OFAC noted. Read more at thehackernews.com. Multiple threat actors deploy open source Rafael Rat to target Android devices. Multiple threat actors, including cyber espionage groups, are employing an open source Android remote administration tool called Rafael Rat to meet their operational objectives by masquerading it as Instagram, WhatsApp, and various e commerce and antivirus apps. It provides malicious actors with a powerful toolkit for remote administration and control, enabling a range of malicious activities from data theft to device manipulation, Check Point said in an analysis published last week. It boasts a wide range of features, such as the ability to wipe SD cards, delete call logs, siphon notifications, and even act as a ransomware. Read more at thehackernews.com. WikiLeaks' Julian Assange, released from UK prison, heads to Australia. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been freed in the UK and has departed the country after serving more than 5 years in a maximum security prison at Belmarsh for what was described by the U.S. government as the largest compromises of classified information in its history. Capping off a 14-year legal saga, Assange, 52, pleaded guilty to one criminal count of conspiring to obtain and disclose classified U.S. national defense documents. He is due to be sentenced to 62 months of time already served in the Pacific island of Sabian later this week. When you're a whistleblower, be careful whose whistle you're blowing. Read more at thehackernews.com. Major labels sue AI firms Suno and Udio for alleged copyright infringements. The three major music companies filed lawsuits against AI music firms Suno and Udio on Monday, alleging the widespread infringement of copyright sound recordings at an almost unimaginable scale. The lawsuits, spearheaded by the Recording Industry Association of America, arrived 4 days after Billboard first reported the news that the labels were seriously considering legal action against the two startups. This is an interesting case pitting AI's creative ability against the powerful arm of the RIAA. Can AI truly be creative, or is it just a thief? Read more at billboard.com. Latest Windows update patches critical Wi-Fi vulnerability. Windows updates don't just exist to annoy you and make you reboot your computer twice as often as you normally would. They often include some very important stuff. This week's update has a critical patch for a known Wi-Fi vulnerability, which Microsoft rates as an 8.8 out of 10 in terms of danger. So go ahead and spin up Windows Update sooner rather than later. As the Register reports, the CVE 2024-30078 bug fix prevents remote code execution. That means running scary stuff on your PC from somewhere else via a Wi-Fi driver. Read more at PCWorld.com. Apple patches AirPods Bluetooth vulnerability that could allow eavesdropping. Apple has released a firmware update for AirPods that could allow a malicious actor to gain access to the headphones in an unauthorized manner. Tracked as CVE 2024 27867, this authentication issue affects AirPods second generation and later, AirPods Pro, all models, AirPods Max, Power Beats Pro, and Beats Fit Pro. When your headphones are seeking a connection request to one of your previously paired devices, an attacker in Bluetooth range might be able to spoof the intended source device and gain access to your headphones, Apple said in a Tuesday advisory. Patch ASAP. Read more at thehackernews.com. Exploit attempts recorded against new MoveIt transfer vulnerability. Patch ASAP. A newly disclosed critical security flaw impacting Progress Software MoveIt transfer is already seeing exploitation attempts in the wild shortly after details of the bug were publicly disclosed. The vulnerability, tracked as CVE 2024-5806 with a CVSS score of 9.1, concerns an authentication bypass that impacts several versions. Improper authentication vulnerability in Progress MoveIt transfer SFTP module can lead to authentication bypass, the company said in an advisory released Tuesday. Progress has also addressed another critical SFTP associated authentication bypass vulnerability, CVE 2024-5805 with a CVSS score of 9.1, affecting MoveIt Gateway version 2024.0.0. Read more at thehackernews.com. Creditors service provider leaked millions of records with lawsuit history. A company identifying people who might sue creditors forgot to set a password and leaked over 150 million records, including lawsuit history. At the beginning of June, the Cyber News research team uncovered a misconfiguration in web recon systems that left the company's data accessible to anyone on the internet. While the company claims to protect the creditors, it failed to protect its data. A leak was caused by a MongoDB database when web recon developers forgot to set up a password. The leaked database stored nearly 154 gigabytes of data and more than 150 million records. Read more at cybernews.com. This week's must-see on my YouTube channel. Compromising the security of a supply chain to target businesses and individuals is becoming more common. Please watch my video on that topic by following the link listed. Did you know? To protect themselves from their super strong pecks, woodpeckers wrap their tongues around their brains. This would probably be helpful for some or most of our politicians. If you're drunk or violent in Japan, police will take a plastic sheet and roll you up like a burrito. There are caves in Missouri that store 1.4 billion pounds of government-owned cheese. Just thought you might want to know. When one door of happiness closes, another opens. But often we look so long at the closed door, we do not see the one which has been opened for us. Thanks to Helen Keller. And that's a wrap for this week's Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening.